Good morning, my name is Jim Hurley, H-U-R-L-E-Y. I'm the police chief here in Leicester. I have with me Sam and Brady to my right, Sergeant Ken Antanavica to my right of the Leicester Police Department, and Chairman of the Board of Selectmen here in Leicester, Mr. Harry Brooks. This incident began on Monday at approximately 11:30 a.m. when an individual who was logging in the woods off Moose Hill Road in Leicester discovered the dog that you see to our right in the cage that you see to our left in a clearing in a wooded area in a construction zone. The logger, Mr. Sugin, brought the dog to a shaded area and chained it up to a vehicle that was there in order for it to be able to move around and be in the shade. At that point, the owner of the property brought some water, and that's when our two young men to the right became our good Samaritans and rescuers. They took the dog back to one of their residents nearby. They washed the dog and the cage, both which had feces on it, and took care of the dog, and then subsequently called the animal control officer and the Leicester police. The dog is a 3 to 5 month old pit bull. It was found in the cage that you see to my left with the dog food on top of it. It had the leash and the collar that you see on it when it was found. This is clearly a case of animal cruelty and abandonment at this point, and we are asking for the public's help to identify the individual who abandoned and left the dog in the woods. The Leicester Police Department, the Leicester Animal Control, are offering a $500 reward for information leading to the identification and successful prosecution of the individual that committed this crime. I'd like to thank the 4 individuals who are outstanding citizens and a good display of what we have here in Leicester for our residents, who stepped up and saved this dog. At this point, I'd ask Selectman Brooks if you could assist me, and Brady would like to present you with this Award of Excellence for coming to the rescue of this dog. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And Sam would like to thank you, present you with this Award of Excellence for coming to the rescue of this dog. Obviously, if you and the other 2 individuals had not taken action, this dog might not have survived. So thank you for being the good citizens that you are. Information regarding who owns the dog can be sent to the Leicester Police Department by a number of means. You can call 508-892-7010 and hit option 7. That gets you to our crime tip hotline. You can go to the Leicester Police Department webpage, www.leicesterpd.org, and send in an anonymous tip on our crime tip email, or you can call Detective Timothy Fontaine at 508-892-7010, extension 2016. All tips can be kept confidential, and we would appreciate any leads that we can get. So far, this incident has generated more than 160,000 views on our social media, and that is the second highest that the department has ever seen. At this point, we'll take any questions that you might have. Yes, ma'am. We're investigating this as a potential animal cruelty and abandonment case, so either of those 2 charges would be applicable. We will be consulting with the Mass Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals
and the district attorney's office before we make any move on the charges.
Any idea how long the dog might have been out there? You talked about the dog probably would have died if we didn't have to get out. Why do we get to that point? Is it because we eat?
Obviously the heat and the lack of food were issues for the dog. The dog has what originally were conveyed to us as potential burns on it. They appear to be insect bites, indicating it might have been out there longer, and just a general condition. And if nobody had been working that day or the next couple days, it would have been all over for the poor animal.
The dog seems pretty good-natured. Food was left with the dog in the crate. Does this seem like someone who maybe couldn't take care of the dog anymore?
That's a potential possibility, but the issue becomes, if you care for your dog, you don't leave it in the woods in a construction area. There are plenty of ways. They could have called us up. We have our animal control officer, Pat Dykus, here over to our right. Pat would have immediately gone out and taken the dog, and we would have found a home for it immediately.
Chief, can you just elaborate a little bit about the job these two young men did and the work that they put in to help this dog out?
Well, when we arrived, I think the dog was enjoying them as much as they were enjoying the dog. They had cleaned the dog up, washed the cage, given the dog water and other items, so they had done all the right things. So we're very grateful to what they've done for us. This dog will be able to be adopted, and I know she's probably not going to be happy with me saying this, but please direct all calls or inquiries regarding adoption to the Leicester Animal Control Officer. That's clearly within her jurisdiction. The police department does not have any say in that.
Have you given the dog any kind of nickname or anything?
Well, we have not yet. We were thinking about Moose Hill for where it was found, but I think the two gentlemen that is to my right can make that decision.
Can we hear from you guys?
Absolutely.
So we want to say that we hope this dog finds a great home for the well-being of him and the owners of this new dog. And I hope they have joy and love throughout this dog's life and those.
Our nickname for him is Brad because he's a pit bull and Brad Pitt. So, yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much all.
When you guys found him, what made you realize that something was wrong, that he needed help?
Well, he seemed like he hadn't had attention in a long time. And that sort of brought our attention to him to sort of give him some love and attention so he could get well again. That's why we brought him home, gave him a bath, food and water, walked him.
Yeah, when we found him, he was whimpering a lot. And as soon as we walked up to him and started petting him, he was wagging his tail and like barking and having a real good time.
He is a great dog.
What does it mean to you to be recognized by the police department?
Well, it just shows that people can understand what other people can do in terms of helping other animals or other people in general. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, I think we can make it official that with the chairman of the board, can you make a motion that the dog be named Brad?
Absolutely.
The dog is now named Brad. Thank you very much for coming. Everyone's available for questions afterwards if you need to.
Brad Pitts, I like it.